Hello guys, today we're gonna talk about the medication chart that are used in Australia during the nursing registration OSCE examination. My name is Rima and I'm one of the RN working in Australia. I got my registration via OBA pathway. So today I'm gonna share the error and the experience that I had during my OSCE examination while doing the medication. So in this video, you're gonna see the overview of the medication chart and how to use the medication chart before you give any medication. This video would be helpful for those people who are going to give their OSCE examination anytime soon for their nursing registration. And it will be more helpful if you are from the overseas. Disclaimer, this video is solely based on my experience and the error that I faced during my examination. So I'm just sharing my experience. Please also do your own research to figure out more about the medications and chart. So let's not delay and let's start. So where can you find the medication chart? So medication chart link is provided by AFRA. So this can be found in their website. So once you go into the manual handbook, if you go in page number 10 of the book, then you will see the link over there. When you click on the link, it will take you to the medication chart that is provided by AFRA for the OSCE purpose. So for now, I'm just gonna share the medication chart in this video so you can also see and let's discuss about it. So now that you can see the medication chart here, let's move forward with the different sections that are in the medication chart. For this video purpose, I have divided this medication chart in 5 different sections. So number 1 is nurse initiated section. Number 2 is telephone order section. Number 3 is medications list that are taken prior to the client hospitalization or the medications that the person used to take before their hospital admission. Number 4, you can see the regular medications that also includes the variable dose medication. And lastly, the PRN medications. Alright, so let's move into the first section, which is nurse initiated medication section. So in this section, you can write about the medication that you have provided as a nurse. So in Australia, there are a few lists of the medications, which you can also see here. These are the medications that you can give as a nurse. So being a nurse, you can, yes, provide the medication, but only those medications that are on the list. So for example, if you need to give Panadol to a person for the pain, then you can give it because it's in the list of the nurse initiated medication. So once you give the medication, you need to write the name of the medication that you provided, dose you provided, frequency you provided, and you need to sign in the medication chart. However, once you provide this medication, you do need to report it to the doctor that you have provided this medication. It is not much complicated, so let's move to the next section. So the second box is about the telephone orders. So these are the medications which are taken from the telephone orders. Let's suppose sometimes GP may not be in the facility or doctors may not be in the setting where you need it and your client needs a certain medication. So you can call the GP and then they can give you the telephone orders. However, you will need 2 nurses for this kind of medication charts. And it also depends on the facility or the hospital or the setting that you are working policies. It depends how many nurses you need, but it's always 2 nurses. Sometimes if you're working in a small facility where only 1 nurse works, then at those times they have provided you the guidelines that you can use as a second nurse. For example, the person who is competent to give the medication, then you can use them as the second nurse. Or if you are in the office hour setting, your manager can help you out. However, for this kind of orders, you will always need 2 persons as a witness for you to give and take the medication order. And the 1 person role is to take the medication order, and the 2nd person role is to verbalize that medication that order, just the first person write in their note, and then it is to confirm that that is the medication that has been ordered and there is no any miscommunication. So that's why in this medication chart as well, there is N1, which is nurse 1, and N2, which is nurse 2 for their signature. Let's suppose you're gonna take the medication order for an antibiotic. Then you take the order, like doctor said, amoxicillin 500 mg TDS, and then they give you the all the details. And once you write down that medication order, the second person who is there listening to your order will now verbalize the order that you just wrote in your chart, and then it will be confirmed by the GP. So this is for the solely purpose to prevent any kind of miscommunication and adds also weakness. And when you take the telephone order, you need to make sure that GP sign this medication chart within 24 hours from the order taken. Otherwise, the chart will be invalid. So let's talk about the third section. So third section is the medication list that the person is on before going to any hospital admission or before taking admission to any facility. This section is helpful for the GPs, doctors, or the RNs that are working on the floor. It helps them to identify the medications that the person used prior to the admission. And it will also help to discuss, or it will also help them to guide to seize any medications that they do not need, or to add any medications that they are not on. This section is also not much complicated. So now let's move to the another section, which is important one, regular medication section. So this is the section where you use mostly during your examination purpose, where they have written the medications that are need to be provided when you are giving your examination. Okay. So in this section, when you are doing the medication, it is very important to figure out if the full information is given or not. For example, here the name of the medication should be in generic name. It should have like route, dose, frequency, the time and date that you need to give the medication, prescriber name, prescriber signature, and prescriber contact number. So these things are very important to make a chart valid. So that's why when you give the regular medication, you need to identify if these informations are provided or not. And also when you are in this medication chart, if the person that you are giving medication, let's suppose, refuse the medication, then that how you're gonna write it. So in this section here, you can see the small box that has provided in the medication chart, given the small codes that you can write if the person is not able to take the medication or refuses or something like that. So for example, for refusing, it's R. So for withhold, it's W. For absent, it's A. So you can use these codes to write in the medication chart if you are not able to provide the medication, if the person is not able to take the medication. Any medication that needs to be given for long-term or short-term or any variable medication are written in this section. So for example, if someone needs to take the Panadol 3 times a day for like certain weeks, then these are written in this chart. So you can easily identify if it's regular medication, short-term medication, or variable medication. So talking about the variable medication, it would be like example warfarin, Clexane, that needs special consideration. For example, sometimes if the person is in warfarin, then it will be written in the variable medication. So you need to consider the INR report and provide the anticoagulant education. And once you provide the education, you can see in here there is a small section that says if your education has been provided or not as well. So that's all about the regular medication charts. Now let's talk about the final section. It's about the PRN section. So in the medication chart, PRN section is added to those medications that are only provided if it's required. So for example, if the person gets the intermittent kind of pain and they request for the pain medication, then we can provide the medication. So for this as well, you need to make sure there is a valid order. So how you're gonna find out is if the generic name of the medication is provided, dose, time, date is provided, and also the prescriber number, prescriber name, and signature is provided. So it is important in PRN medication that the doctor mentions how many times you can give that medication in 24 hours. So that is very important. You always need to check when was the last time the medication was provided in such type of medications. So apart from these major sections, there are other small sections such as which includes the patient allergies or any kind of thing you can see in here, and it also includes the patient details. That includes the name, address, doctors he's under or she's under, and let's say their personal details, and also if the medication can be crushed, uncrushed, education provided, the icons that you can use to write it if the person refuses or you couldn't give the medication. Yeah, so these all make a medication chart complete. So these are all the sections that you will find in a medication chart. So now that is about the overview of the medication chart. Now let's move to another vital part that you need to know before doing any medication. So before doing any kind of medication, you must need to ensure that the medication chart is valid or not. So how can you verify if the medication chart is valid or not? So number one, there should be the full details of the person that you are gonna give the medication, their full name, their date of birth, their address, and their URL or MRN number, and the doctor they are under, and also the allergies that they have or they do not have. And make sure the medication chart is not expired. Usually those regular medications are always reviewed 3 monthly by GP, so that's how we maintain the validity of the chart. And after this, we need to make sure the orders that has been mentioned in this medication chart is also valid. So how we're gonna do that? We need to check if the medication order is in generic name, the date, dose, frequency is provided, the time, route is also provided, and the person who prescribed the medication, his name or her name, the contact details, and the signature is also provided in the chart. You also need to ensure that indications of the medications are provided. It is especially important when you are using the psychotropic medications, because sometimes if there is not any indication provided while using the psychotropic medication, then that may be considered as chemical restraint. Now you have checked the validity of the chart and you are confirmed that your chart is valid, then you can move to the next step. So next step would be 3 checks with 5 rights. So the 3 checks are done before doing any medication, while preparing the medication, and before administering the medication. So before you prepare your medication, make sure you check right patient, right medication, right time, right route, and right dose. So you must need to check before you take your medication out. So once you identify your patient with your full name, date of birth, and URL or MRN number, your right person or right patient is ticked. So now you need to check right medication. So check in the medication chart if there is given right dose. If it's given like dose is there, time is there, route is there. So once you find out that all those things are provided in your medication chart, then now you are gonna take the medication, and you need to check the name of the medication if it matches your medication chart or not. So once it matches, check the expiry date of the medication and if the dose matches or not. So once you take your medication in a cup, then again you need to check before you put that packet back. So now you check your all medication, right route, right dose, right time. 5 right is now ticked off again. So now you will go with your chart in the bedside of the person. So before you give that medication to that person, now you need to check again 5 rights, right patient, right full name, date of birth, and MRN number check. And once it's confirmed this is the person you're gonna give the medication. So now again check your medication if it matches the chart or not, right medication, and expiry date, so that's ticked as well. So now you need to check if dose is correct, time is correct, and route is correct. And also do not forget to check the allergies before you give the medication to your patient. Okay, so these are the 3-point check that you do before providing medication to the person. So it is very important to do this. And another thing that is important is please ensure there is always a second RN to check with you if you are doing any S4, any acid, or any kind of variable medication like warfarin, or you are doing medication for the pediatric patients. So these are the important things that you need to consider before you practice your medication station for your OSCE examination. So please ensure you do all these things before you provide any medication to the person, and make sure you are very much familiar with your medication chart to ensure nothing is missed before you do that station. I hope this video has been helpful for you. So to watch more videos like this, please do comment what you want to see in coming futures, and please don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and TikTok, where I make more videos like this. And please share this video with your friends and family who is gonna give the OSCE examination anytime soon, that they can also visit the video. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe my YouTube channel. I will see you again soon in my next video. Bye.